Mike Friday is head coach of the Kenyan national Rugby Sevens team. Sevens is primarily played on the IRB Sevens World Series, an annual 9-leg tour. As one of the 15 core teams, Kenya have automatic entry to each tournament, alongside the renowned powerhouses of rugby union, New Zealand, Australia and England. In the past, the East African nation have been also Rans, scrapping for points at the bottom of the table. But last year, former England Sevens coach Friday joined the Kenya setup, and he's since engineered the most successful campaign in their history. Winger Collins Injera is 5th on the all-time Sevens tries list and was the series top scorer in 2009.
Mike is a very good coach. He made us go back to the basics, which is passing, racking, tackling, and I think it has paid off. It has paid well for us, and he has also introduced the concept of believing in yourselves. My teammates are quite young, and they've got that belief that we can now go all the way and win a tournament, not just go and participate or compete. We can go all the way, win the big games, for example, New Zealand, Fiji, and go all the way and win the cup final.
Many of the Kenyan side had not picked up an oval ball until high school or even later. Today, the team are actively involved in trying to encourage more schools around the country to teach rugby. With the profile of the sport growing all the time, there's never been a more opportune moment to get young children involved. Friday also believes that coaching can help to build the character of his players.
They're in the privileged position, really, in the fact that they're representing their nation and their country, and that comes with accountability. And they're role models, and young kids and people around Kenya look up to them. So they have to give a little bit back, and that sharing and passing on and that interaction with children at all levels, and be it here at Braeburn School or be it in the, one of the Kibera slums, is fundamental to give them an understanding of, one, a perspective of where they are in life, and two, how they can kind of influence and affect other people or other young people as they grow up in Kenya.
It's also hoped that the Sevens success will encourage a wider interest in the 15s game. In emerging rugby nations, the shorter format is often used as a platform for developing the full side. All of the squad play 15s at club level, and some are even a part of the national setup. Having worked in English club rugby, Friday knows that much of the experience that his players gain in Sevens can be taken back and shared with their clubs. However, a 15s team can't be just made up of Sevens players, so there's still some specialised coaching needed.
I think the big difference between the Kenya 15s and the Sevens is the front 5 forwards, because that's the nature of international 15s and test match rugby. You've got to have a set piece that's able to live with the best in the world, and Kenyan probably aren't renowned for developing those types of individuals because of the technical complexities of playing in the front 5, and I think there's a bigger long-term strategy required to develop and create front 5 forwards for Kenya 15s, which is probably, you're talking at least a 10-year process. But in terms of that education of what's required to be a professional rugby player and try and be the best you can, then yes, absolutely. What they learn in the Sevens programme can be heavily translated into the 15s, which will allow them to progress and develop as a rugby nation.
When it comes to their own training, going back to basics has paid huge dividends. Coupled with a more professional attitude towards preparation, nutrition and fitness, Friday's holistic approach has allowed his team of amateurs to show what they're capable of on a regular basis. Their season's best result came in Wellington, New Zealand. In February's tournament, they lost the cup final to England, having beaten the hosts along the way. The Kenyans have also made 3 other semi-final appearances in the first 7 events this season.
Consistency in performance is the holy grail for any rugby team, and it is the holy grail for Kenya. We've been more consistent than we have been in previous years, probably more to do with the discipline and the focus, as well as the focus on the fundamentals of the basics, as well as conditioning. But we're still susceptible to some indiscretions in our consistency, and You know, whilst we've reached a number of semi-finals and a final in this series, we've also not made the cup competitions on a few occasions, which is something that we're desperately trying to work out why.
With results continuing to exceed expectations and a squad full of young players, thoughts are already turning to 2016, when Rugby Sevens will make its Olympic debut in Rio de Janeiro. Despite the competition being 3 years away, there's a buzz amongst the team that they could be the first Kenyans outside of athletics and boxing to realistically compete for medals. Injera, who made his debut for Kenya in 2006, will be 29 by the time the Rio Olympics roll around.
I think it's every athlete's dream to play in the Olympics and have a shot of getting a gold medal or a silver or a bronze medal. I think it will be a great thing for us, and the fact that Olympics will be in Rio, it's much even greater. I think every one of my teammates is quite excited about it, and we're just looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll be still around and hoping to go to the Olympics.
Host of last year's Olympics, London is the 9th and final destination of the 2013 IRB World Series, which started in Australia last October. Transworld Sport met up with the team in the English capital as they prepared for the tournament. After disappointing results in Glasgow the previous week, they were looking to get back to winning ways. A record points haul for the season is achievable, but at least 2 wins from their 3 pool matches on day 1 are required to make the knockout stages. 24-year-old Andrew Amonde is the Kenyan captain.
It's playing our first 3 matches. They're very important matches. I think the first match will matter a lot. We have to get a good start to be able to move on into that circuit. I think the team is built up and we are looking forward to play our best because we are meeting very strong teams in our pool.
If we were given a proper funding budget that would allow us to get proper supplementation, nutrition, gym equipment, allow the boys to get proper nutrition throughout the year, as well as being able to travel and have additional days before tournaments to ensure that preparation and jet lag protocols are all in place, then who knows where Kenya Sevens may go to. The potential is massive, but we need to secure some more sponsors and some more funding to allow us to let the boys try and realise that potential.
Go.